Hayden Walton, wake up. This is in no way attempting to defend Mike after that loss, but I have to
Well,
ask,
that's good. That's good. It's good he's not defending that.
with everything I am seeing around the college football world, do we believe that there are any coaches out there that are completely 100% immune from ever having what has happened to Mike and his teams over the last 15 months happen to them? Somebody asked a question last week, Corey, about is there any guarantee that they won't mess up the coaching hire? Which I guess this is kind of like tangentially related. Like, is there any guarantee they'll get somebody who's not as snake bitten as Mike Norvell has been? It's worth discussing and elaborating on a little further with a little clearer picture involved as we get the cameras on and we crank up the energy. We're generating discussion. It's sparked by Cummins. Corey Clark, please.
I'm cranking it.
Give a button.
Cranking the lawnmower. Cranking the generator, I mean. Oh, yeah, and then I just push a button because it's electric.
There we go. We're generating discussion. Sparked by Cummins. CumminsLifestyle. Give them a follow on their Instagram. You'll see all the awesome things you can do when you've got portable, reliable, quiet power in your arsenal. Cummins has been doing it for over 100 years. Portable generators, portable power stations, RV generators, marine generators, home backup generators. Man, your awesome buddy's truck is probably a Cummins. That's what they're doing. Give them a follow on Instagram, Cummins Lifestyle. Catch the fever, everybody. All right, Corey, let's put the question up on the screen from Hayden Walton. Congrats to Hayden. I think he was the bridesmaid last week, and now he's the winner. So congrats to Hayden. Yeah, man, is there anybody out there, anybody that is completely immune from the ups and downs, the bipolarity of Mike Norvell-led program?
Yeah, there's plenty of them that wouldn't. Nobody's like this. There aren't many head coaches that still have jobs that have swings like this. Man, nobody goes 13-0 and 2-10, and then beats Alabama and loses to Stanford. This is outrageous. This isn't normal. So yes, I definitely think there's a guarantee you could go. There are a lot of safe coaches to get. Guys you could go out. We talked about like a Dan Mullen would be a coach that would not fall on his face. He's a good football coach. Weird guy, good football coach. I don't think Jimbo Fisher would ever have a 2-10 season. I don't know that he's anywhere capable of having a championship season again, and I'm not bringing him up because I think he's necessarily a viable candidate. I don't. But there are plenty of applicants you would have to this job that you would feel really confident about that they wouldn't do this. But can they get you to the level you're trying to get to? I don't. That's got to be the search. I don't want a guy that's just going to get you back on solid footing. You need a guy that you think can go win championships. That's what you're doing. That's why you're here. You're not at Florida State to win 7 or 8 games or go to bowls. You're to get into the playoffs and win championships. So that's the goal. There will be some risk there. There's some risk other than who, Aslan? We talked about it on yesterday's show. Kirby, Dabo, and Ryan Day are the only ones that have national championships. And I think those three, and Nick Saban, are like the 4 people on earth that I think are guaranteed successes. Man, I don't even know if Ryan Day and Dabo isn't. Yeah. They don't even fall in that category. It's Kirby Smart and Nick Saban, who I would say, yes, if he comes to Florida State, they're immediately going to be a playoff team, and they're going to win some national championships at some point because they're awesome. Other than that, it's all a crapshoot. It's all a crapshoot. So, and I think that, yeah, as you said, can they screw it up? Absolutely. There's no guarantee that they won't, which makes it spending $50 million to get rid of something harder. But he doesn't work. It's not working with him. So you've got to jettison that to get to somebody who might be able. And look, it's not that hard to make Florida State good. It just isn't. Mike Norvell did it, for crying out loud. It's not that hard to make Florida State a playoff caliber team. You just got to go find the right guy, and they're out there. There's a lot of them out there that could do well at Florida State.
Yeah, and I don't know if the question is really intimating this, but we spoke about this bad luck that seems to be following Mike Norvell around, and I just don't know. I mean, maybe another show. If we had a third bye week, maybe I would audit everything. But it doesn't strike me as bad luck, and I don't think he's a horrible coach, but it just the 6 years of this just up and down craziness. Listen, I mean, we might be able to look back and find a Scott Frost-esque number for him in terms of like one possession losses. We mentioned, it's all going to be how they look. Like, what if they lose a bunch of games on a Hail Mary? It's like they lost a Jacksonville State game on a Hail Mary, kind of.
Yeah.
Like it's every possible way to lose. Like they've lost every possible remedy, any sort of move on a chessboard. There's been, the proper move made by FSU administration to help this coach out and this program out. So I just don't know what is left to figure out in terms of, can he do it? Can he be it? Is there somebody out there that maybe just doesn't have some sort of bad voodoo on him? I don't think it's that at all. It's to your point, Corey. I mean, it's just there are people out there that you will not have these horrible lows. Like, will you get 13-0? Maybe not, but Mike Norvell gave you 13-0, and he's also giving you all this heartache and all this heartburn. So why couldn't a guy like Willie Fritz, if you had 5 years of him, at some point find out a 12-1 season and get you into a playoff, for example? Not advocating for him particularly.
And obviously he wouldn't be a big name, but I think the question about are there coaches that are 100% immune to this? Yes, I think most coaches have this vaccine. They don't go 2-10 to 13-0 to 2-10. This is not normal. It's not normal to beat Alabama and lose to Stanford. This is Mike Norvell specific. Now, he's had some good teams too, and he had a really good program at Memphis that's carried on kind of just fine without him. But he had a good program at Memphis that he helped build, and he is a good football coach. He has had good football seasons. But I think this is specific to him. I don't look around the country and see teams do this. Like, I thought Indiana might fall on its face after its big run last year. What did they do? Now they look like they're the number 2 team in the country. Arizona State just knocked off Texas Tech after their run last year. Mike Norvell's team, if they were Arizona State, would be 1-5 right now. So that's what I think is the issue that most people or everybody has with Mike Norvell. It's not just there are a lot of people that are inconsistent. There are a lot of programs that are inconsistent. Nobody is this wildly inconsistent, and that has to fall on the head coach. There's something there that is specific to Mike Norvell, the way I don't know, the way he runs a program that makes it susceptible to wild swings. And you don't need wild swings. Florida State is good. They say like, I don't know. I was trying to use an analogy and I couldn't. It's like if you're a good golfer, just fairways in the middle of the green. Yeah. Fairways in the middle of the green. You'll
fairways
score,
and greens.
Fairways, but even don't go with the flag. There's some risk there. Just middle of the green 2-putt. If you're one of these good golfers, you're gonna shoot. You're gonna score. I don't know. Even if you don't putt well, you'll score a 70. You'll be 2 under. And if you happen to putt well, you might be 6 under. But you're never gonna shoot a 97. But this is what Mike Norvell does. He won Augusta, and then shot 107 the next day. It just doesn't. It doesn't. You need guys. Florida State. And what I'm saying is, Florida State is a program. I think with the resources, we don't know what those are now. When you got to pay somebody this much money to not coach, but with the resources, with the fan base, with the recruiting in state, that if you can just get a golfer that can hit fairways and greens, you don't need Tiger Woods in his prime. You need a flipping Ernie Els, man. Just fairways, big smooth, big easy. Just fairways and greens, and you will be really good. You don't need to be shanking it all over the golf course, hitting it out of bounds, hitting a woman in her face with an errant drive. That's all been Mike Norvell on the golf course for the last 2 years. You just need fairways and greens, and Florida State will win again and win big as long as you avoid just horrible mistakes and wild swings.
It is crazy on the way out on this segment, Corey, that, I think at some point we probably got asked in the offseason, would you be more surprised if they, won the national championship or went 2-10 again? Or like if they made the playoff or if they went 2-10 again? And I just remember saying I would be shocked. I would be shocked beyond all belief if they went 2-10 again. They're not going to go 2-10. They've already won 3 games. That has been eliminated. But to even think that coming off 2-10 and all the rehabilitation, recalibration, reloading that you did, that you can maybe wind up going 4-8. Like that's just as equally as shocking and
3-9.
disgusting.
Staring 3-9 in the face. And if you don't beat Alabama in game 1, you could have dang well gone 2-10.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable how long that portable power station lasts. Unbelievable how portable the portable generator is. Check it all out over at Cummins Lifestyle. It's all one word. It's on Instagram. Give them a follow. We would certainly appreciate it.